Hi again, everybody. I'm Terry Vanderbeck with Sanford Sports. Welcome to the fourth and final day of the NSIC Sanford Health Men's and Women's Basketball Tournament here at the Sanford Pentagon. I am joined once again by Mr. David Brown, Midco SN. David, you've made it to the finish line.
So far. Well, don't count it out yet. Two more.
But people that don't know, David speaks so much at this event. He's so good at it, but to force that voice through a mask as well, definitely complicated. So we appreciate you joining us. It's Championship Sunday, which is it's usually Championship Tuesday. So a little bit of
Sunday.
a different, right? There you go, different cadence this year. But we've got two games: the Women's Championship at 1, followed by the Men at 4. Both games live, of course, on Midco Sports Network and the Midco streaming app. Let's start with the women, David. And both of these, it's very interesting. Both these matchups, rematches from just a week ago, that ended up in splits. And for the women, those games were held at Duluth, so St. Cloud got a win on the road. It's also a rematch of last year's game, and this pits the last two NSIC tournament champions. So really, really fun matchup today.
Yeah, on the women's side, like you mentioned, it's a rematch of last year's tournament championship, and they met just a week ago, regular season series finale, and they split. So I like the fact that you can see legitimate reasons each team can win this game. St. Cloud's gotten the better hand 2 of the last 3. Duluth got the last one, but that's Duluth's only loss this season. So can they enact a little revenge, or is St. Cloud State going to go back-to-back? It's going to be really fun to see.
And what are the implications, in your opinion, of this matchup for the Central Region berths as we look ahead to the Division II tournament?
Well, I think Minnesota-Duluth is a lock no matter what, win or lose. St. Cloud State, they probably need to win to secure their spot. Reaching the championship adds to their resume, but you just don't know. They were not under consideration in the most recent rankings, so that indication, to me at least, says if you want to guarantee yourselves a spot, obviously you win. Every conference tournament champion gets in, but St. Cloud State probably a little more pressure.
Sure. And then we'll switch over to the men's game again. Morehead against Northern State. Two teams in that North Division. They split last week at Wax Arena. Also, the only loss of the year for the Northern State men. Great matchup. Two good teams. Northern State has run their tournament win streak now to 14. And they got their swagger going a little bit yesterday with those 3 Parker Fox dunks in a row. They looked a little more at ease, a little more like themselves maybe than Augustana let them show in the first matchup.
Yeah, Augustana I think gave Northern State a tough matchup. Minot State, give them credit. They played Northern State tough too, but yeah, you're right. Sort of in that second half, even though the game kind of screeched to a halt with a lot of fouls there late, Northern State looked like Northern State again. Fox got going. He was kind of held in check for the first game and a half, so good to see him get going if you're a Northern State fan. And then obviously if you're MSU Morehead, you know you can beat this team. You did it literally just 8 days ago, so the Dragons have plenty to play for. You were asking about the region implications on the women's side. For the men's side, both these teams are in. I think that's pretty much assured. So in essence, this championship game won't matter in terms of are you going to play again or not, but there's obviously pride on the line. These are travel partners, these are rivals, and of course, there's seeding in the region tournament as well. So still plenty to play for both MSU Morehead and Northern State.
And Northern State will host that regional, so obviously for them to go in hot, it makes them even more of a factor in that central region coming up. What else, David Brown? Any kind of thoughts going into today? Thoughts in the first 3 days? The other interesting wrinkle, of course, Morehead did not play a semifinal game, which is, I'm assuming, never happened in the history of the tournament. So they'll set a trend here on is that a good thing or a bad thing for teams?
Well, at least for Northern State, MSU Morehead played a little more than one full game. They had a double OT game, so they did play one game and an extra, half of a half. So an extra 10 minutes, I mean, it's probably not going to make much of a difference, but for the Dragons, probably a much-needed day off, not having to play Wayne State in the semifinals. And if you're Northern State, well, you just got to contend. You just got to deal. You know MSU Morehead's coming in just a little bit more rested than you thought they would be, but that should make for an even better battle.
So at the end of the day, for all the strangeness of this season, the abbreviations, the COVID protocols, these are pairings that people maybe could have predicted before any of this started, which is sort of interesting.
Yeah, they're the top 2 teams in both the women's and men's championship, top 2 teams in the North Division. Rivals, MSU Morehead, Northern State, I mentioned our travel partners, so are St. Cloud State and Minnesota Duluth. All these teams so familiar with each other. All these teams have proven they can beat the other team. You couldn't ask for much more for a championship.
Fantastic. Well, we're excited to see what happens. David Brown, thank you again. Fantastic work as always in this tournament. Thank you guys for watching. We'll see how things pan out, and then we'll join you again next week when the Summer League tournament gets going.